beetles, if any beetle, their sun going into the top of the box is going to drive them out of there.
Okay.
And we'll leave that there while we inspect the hive. And when we're done, we can look and see if there are any. So that's if it's hive beetles. If it's wax moths, we'll be able to see that immediately because there'll be all kinds of fuzz in here. But you've been in the hive and you haven't seen any.
Yeah, I haven't seen any.
You haven't seen any of that. So,
no.
So that's okay. Interesting. Big sign this side up. And you put, I don't think it really matters.
Oops. Yeah, I messed up actually. I was kind of.
I usually leave this at the top. Don't sting me.
Gotcha. Oop. Now we got pissed off bees.
Okay, go ahead. I'll just step back because they're mad at me, not at you.
No, I got one mad at me too. He's buzzing around my head, but that's right. Come on, Smoke. Try as you may, I hope this suit works and not. Come on. So you want the top one off?
We want just the top, yeah, the top one should do it. And then
You wanted that over there though, right?
No, I wanted this box.
Oh, okay. All right.
Because
I'll move that towards the back then. Whatever is buzzing my head is pretty persistent. Well, I think he went away. You shouldn't be stuck too much since I took this one off yesterday.
So that's pretty nice. So if we just put it right in on top of that box.
Like that?
Like that. And the sunshine's coming pretty much right down on top of that. So,
all right.
And the beetles don't like that. I'm just looking at the burr comb and seeing if there's anything unusual there, and there isn't. It's burr comb, and that's what it's supposed to look like.
So what do you want me to do now?
Well, we're just going to loosen
Spread
up
'em?
a couple of frames and spread them, and we'll look in to
See what's going on.
and just see if there's any. What
Yeah,
we
and
might see.
Tell me, like, again, what is what when I'm getting in here,
Okay.
because these guys have got this really gooped.
Yeah, I have never found a way to keep them from getting that way. I clean the edges and I pack them tight together, and I say, okay, they'll never get any propolis inside of that, but they still do. So. Why don't we take this second one out? That's what I usually do. I usually take the second one out
Okay.
because it's easier usually than the first one.
And how do you do it? The on the end is how you do it, or?
Yeah, I have a tool with a hook on it.
Okay.
But basically, what we're going to do is we just,
Down. Okay.
and then we do the other side like that, and then once you lift the other side out,
All right. You're getting mad.
even on a nice cool morning, they're mad. It usually means, you see, you told me last time this was your aggressive hive anyway, right?
Yes. And I need to figure out what's going on here. Come on, Smoke. I need to go start this again.
Okay.
It's going to be a long morning without any smoke. Okay, we got smoke. Down, Simbas. I have, even last year, I do not recall having any of the volume that these hives have produced when you're getting into them. These guys
So
are...
this is nice because their bees are all the way up into the top box. If you look over here, you can see.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can see they're in the middle.
I took that out the other day, that one, and
So they're putting nectar in that one. How about the other side? Yeah. And this side is really nice looking because there's lots of comb, and they're. Let's look in there. If you. What I'm looking for to see if there's any eggs or larvae in there, and I don't see any. So that's okay. So let's just put that one down here.
okay,
And this is our.
don't get mad. There we go.
So now we can now pull these frames one at a time and look at them and put them right back in again. And now we're not disturbing the hive too much. We are disturbing
Yeah.
it, but we're not making a big to-do out of it.
As long as I understand you just said that, then we're all good to go. It's like when I was bass fishing, they never read the same books that I did.
Yeah, so this is okay. So this side is being done. This side over here,
So some of those, like up in the top here, are getting, look like they're capped off.
well, there's nectar in these,
Okay,
and when they get some pollen, they'll put that in there. Yep.
all right.
So that's good. Okay, that one's out. Now you can just
Wow, look at that. Oh my God.
do a lot. That's
Jeez.
yeah. And I see some drone broods down there at the bottom,
Which means what?
which means the brood nest is up this far.
And that's a good thing?
That's a good thing. Yes. That means the bottom has to be full because
They're getting, so they're
getting,
happy.
They're starting to come up into this box.
And could it be the fact that I started them out with last year's honey and sugar and all that other
Yes.
stuff?
Oh,
So
yeah.
they're,
and there was plenty up here for them to go for.
yeah,
So
yeah.
so-
That was the only one that really
is
went
new. I
in,
just
went in
pulled a
virgin.
couple, yeah, and they've got that one working in the middle.
Ooh,
So,
little stuck. There we go.
so let's look at the bottom. Might be brood comb on the bottom.
Holy shit.
Let's see. So these are all drone broods. This is all drones. So we should, and there's a capped brood right there, and that's a regular cell. You see this one right there?
Yes.
That one's a regular cell.
So what's regular versus drone?
Well, the drones are the males, right?
Okay, and
The
that
drone-
means what?
Well, they're the ones that fly out and they'll find a swarm of drones someplace, and virgin queens will find the drones and get mated and then come back. So if you're going to, so the fact that they're making a lot of drones isn't really problematic. It's just they always make some drones,
Okay.
and they're usually along the bottom board. So now, the only thing that it might suggest, not necessarily, but it might suggest,
Ready to swarm?
is, yeah, but they won't unless we find a big queen cell. In other words, if we find a queen cell, a queen cup and a queen cell are essentially the same thing, except the queen's cup is just that. It's just a big section of the comb
Okay.
where they could put a queen if they wanted to. And a queen cell is they've actually put an egg in there and it's working.
Compared to what we just looked at, How much bigger is it to what we just looked at?
It will be twice as big as one of those brood cells.
Oh, really?
Or one of those drone cells. And now, see, this is very nice. This is all brood.
These are all babies.
Every one of those cap cells there is going to be a bee.
So what you're telling me is the mama bee, the queen, has gone in and laid in every one of these.
In every one of those.
Holy
and there's
crap, is she active or what?
Yeah, well, if in the middle of the season, it's not unlikely for you to come back and find one of these empty, and 2 or 3 days later, find them full of little eggs and larvae.
So she just walks along and squirt, squirt, squirt,
Yeah,
squirt.
yeah.
Wow.
I'm not sure why. I have my own theory, which is when the bees comb this out, if you look at these cells, you can almost see how small that is compared to how big and round those are.
Yeah.
And I think it's got to do with the size of the cell. In other words, the queen goes to drop an egg in there, and if it's not a tight fit, she doesn't, she drops an unfertilized egg versus a fertilized egg. So,
Now this could be fun because it's all stuck together. I'm going to chill them out a little bit here. Or agitate them a little bit.